Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Survival Let's Play. We are on episode 3 and as you guys can tell, I have some pretty high energy today, and that's because I'm actually recording this video at a pretty decent time and not late at night. For whatever reason, the first 2 episodes, I don't know, I just had the, I guess, mentality to want to play Minecraft late at night, so yeah. Hopefully today we have just a tad bit more energy, but let's just get to work right away. Alright, so as you guys can see, I added, I guess, the slabs on top of these things now, just because I was kind of scared I'd jump over them and all that, so that's pretty good. I also kind of just cut down a lot of these trees. As you guys can see, the oak trees are gone. I replanted the saplings, so hopefully we get more wood back sometime soon. So today, my goal is to actually work on a house, and that's kind of the main reason why we cut down all those trees, is so we could have a ton of wood to work with, and some material that will, yeah. So I do actually want to get the house kind of done today, or at least the semblance of a house. Okay, so real quick, okay, let's just put the stuff away before I kind of tell you guys. Okay, so real quick, I have literally zero confidence in my ability to make any builds aesthetically pleasing. I don't know if you guys have noticed this about me, if you guys have watched me for a while, but I completely suck at building, like, houses in general, which is why I feel like I kind of, lean towards, making cave bases and all that, because I kind of like the whole, first of all, it's kind of like a bat cave aesthetic, right? We're in a cave, and it's kind of cool to just, take control of, I guess, a cave like that and make it into a base or a ravine or something. But I feel like it also kind of, was a way for me to not have to deal with the fact that I just completely suck at building houses. Well, today in this Let's Play, I kind of want to maybe face that, I guess, I don't know, I'm not going to call it a fear, but an inadequacy that I have towards that form of building by trying to build a house. Like I said, I don't know if this will be our, our forever base in this world, or it'll just be our first base, but I will try to make some sort of house for today, and I guess that's where we're going to be living in. Now, I'm going to hope that the material that we have on us is going to be more than enough. So first things first, in order for us to keep as, I guess, organized as possible, we need to have a little bit of a workstation here. By workstation, it really is just going to be, a few furnaces and the chests. Yeah, I don't want to put too many chests down because we are going to have, an actual storage room of sorts here. So, yeah. But let me just clear out some of this, and then we can sort of get started and see what we can make here. I'm not gonna lie, the more storage is probably what's kind of, forcing me to make a house right now, because I do want to eventually go back caving and get more diamonds and all of that, so we do need at least some sort of place to stay. Let's see what we can do, and let me just, yeah, okay, we should honestly have more than enough space to work with, so let's kind of outline the house. So first of all, what do I want to make it with? I'm pretty sure I said I want to use oak planks for the most part, just because it's the wood I'm just, kind of used to making. So how I usually start houses is pretty much the door frame. Yeah, so I'm going to be pretty basic with this, okay? The door frame, we're just going to kind of place it here. It's going to be right here. And this is going to be where our 2 doors are going to be. I completely just realized we're going to need windows for our home. So, let's quickly grab some sand. I'm not sure how much we're going to really need for this, but let's get a good amount and just have it smelt up while we're making the house. So, I'm not sure if a full stack would be overkill, but hey, it wouldn't hurt, right? It wouldn't hurt. Alrighty, that should be all that we need. Alright, you guys can kind of smelt up while I'm here, so I think this should be more than enough for you, and then for you, let's do a few more. There we go, so this should be perfect. Now, this is the part where I feel is kind of strange. I'm actually not sure where to go about here. Like, already, we actually haven't, like, built anything, and I feel like I'm already confused in what to do. Okay, I feel like we actually do have a lot of space around and a lot of cobblestone, so I kind of want to take advantage of, all the cobblestone that I have, so hopefully this is going to make sense as we continue building. Alright, we're gonna do something like this. So this will kind of like, you know, be the main entrance, obviously. Put some torches there. And then we're gonna kind of, you know, build around it, if that makes any sense. Okay. So first things first. I want this to be at least 2 stories, too. So I don't know how well this is gonna look. But let me see. Alright, let's break some of these here and kind of extend it left and right just a bit. We're gonna kind of, make the right side much bigger than the left. So we're just gonna kind of like extend the base more this direction like this. So that should be more than enough. And then we're gonna try to go all the way back here. And the majority of the space, I feel we're gonna kind of, you know, have it right here. So it's more like, I guess, you know, right side heavy. So it's not gonna be symmetrical, but yeah, we're gonna have a lot of space. So there we go. That tree literally grew as we were here, so that's great. And then we're gonna have to kind of, we can shorten it, I feel. It doesn't have to be, you know, go all the way back here, but yeah, you know, just so we don't have the awkward build here, we're gonna have it kind of end over here, and then over here. So there we go. We're not gonna make it like look like a cobblestone mess, don't worry. I also kind of want some back doors. So let's have it mirror where this door is at. So these two can kind of go away and we'll focus on some sort of opening here. But there we go. And perfect-ish, I guess. All right, now the trick is, how are we going to make this look good? So it's going to be kind of, not even kind of, it's going to be, you know, oak and cobblestone heavy. So right here, I want a somewhat large window. And, you know, I'm just going to put the doors down right now because I feel like we're just going to completely forget about the doors. So there we go. And honestly, the back door can just be a single door. We can work on this a little bit later, but that should be fine. Over here, let's try to make this look somewhat decent. Okay, hold on. I just realized, first of all, it's getting late. Second of all, I kind of need another bed, because we're gonna, at some point, you know, merge this, I guess, you know, Hobbit hole style base into the actual base. So there we go. And this is what I got so far. I promise it'll look good moving forward. We need some stairs, a lot of them actually, just because first of all, we actually need normal stairs, and second of all, windows. I feel like I want something like this here. So we're gonna do this. Kind of get rid of that, and then kind of get rid of this thing here too. Alright, that's going to be where our windows are going to be. Let me see how they look first before we even kind of commit to anything. So, oh, that's perfect. And then, oh yeah, no, that's kind of what I want. And oh, I just realized Optifine kind of like merges the windows like that. I kind of forgot. I don't know if I like how that looks, but you know what, we'll keep it for now. And okay, we need you to be upside down. I'm sorry if this looks atrocious, but I'm trying to do something different here. All right, there we go. And then obviously the same thing going on here. So bam, bam, and then yeah, okay, so that's the, I guess, you know, front of the house, and now we gotta work on all the other sides. Okay, now windows are always weird when it comes to the back of the house. I don't know, I feel like the front, you know, you should have like a good amount, right? But the back, I'm really never sure how much to put. So first of all, we'll do the sides of the house just like this. Alrighty, might as well just do all the sides. And then, honestly, for this, what we could do is, we'll just do oak logs again. I don't know. We're eventually going to make this house look better, guys. Trust. But for now, honestly, instead of this, what we could do is this. And then we'll kind of work on what that means a little later on. Oh, I just realized this has to go back like 1. Yeah, we're gonna have this design work out. We literally need to bring it back by 1 block. Just because it'll be awkward if I don't do that. So there we go. Alright. Alright. And then you here. And then you. Right here. And then alrighty. And then with this, we can kind of, you know, build around you. just like so. I don't know. I like that whole I guess indented style, where it kind of goes in by one. So yeah, it also kind of helps with this because now we can just easily make a window area here. So we can do that. You know, there's gonna be another window here, which, oops, okay, there we go. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah, and then should we do it on this side too? Kind of, you know, even it out. I feel like it's a little awkward here at these edges. I feel like the wood probably has to go all the way down, right? That design would make more sense. So I feel like that's what's been kind of messing with my head right now. So there we go. There we go. And okay, so just like that, you kind of need to do the same thing. Okay, this is a little hard to see how this looks, but for now, we're just gonna hope that this looks just fine. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. There we go. And there, I am so jealous of people who can actually build normally, because they're probably looking at this wondering what the heck this is gonna end up looking like. And guys, please do not have any high expectations right now. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now for the size of the house. Okay. I know there's going to be an upstairs, so we need to, like, design this with an upstairs, you know, in mind, right? Like, we're gonna eventually have an upstairs area, so we need to kind of, you know, remember to leave some space for that, for design. So first of all, we're gonna put a window here. All right. And for other windows, we can kind of, honestly, yeah, I thought about leaving this here, but maybe not. All right. There we go. Okay. Now for these walls. This is where walls are going to get a little bit strange. I think what we should do for this one, we'll have one window, and this window will make it a double window this time. Okay. So this is going to be a window, and honestly, it doesn't need to be stairs here, but I kind of feel like we've done it with, like, all the areas. So we're probably going to have to. There we go. There we go. All right, just so we have a window here looking out. And then here, we can, for the most part, cover this up with cobblestone. So just like this. And the upstairs definitely will not be done today. So don't worry. But as long as we finish this lower floor, I feel like we'll have, you know, at least done more than I kind of expected. So there we go. We're at least going to roof it up, okay? Like, there's going to be a roof, and hopefully it's going to look fine. So, okay. Over here, I want there to be a window. All right. There we go. And then, you know, same thing going on here, right? There we go. And plop, 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 plop. All right, we got kind of two window action going on here. But on this side, we can kind of just completely fill it up with cobblestone, because I don't want windows here, because I think this is where we're more or less going to put our okay. Over here, we're going to have, like, a staircase going up, so this is kind of half the reason why I just need this to just not be, I guess, you know, a window. And for this one, because the wall is cobble, I feel like the stairs have to be oak. So let's just do the stairs now. I like doing double stairs for the most part, so kind of go all the way up. And this area here, I feel, will be the kitchen area, so that's going to sort of help. But other than that, we're eventually just going to fill this up with all oak and work on the second floor when time kind of allows us to. Because right now, I just need the first floor to be done for the most part. So let's kind of fill this up as much as we possibly can with the wood that we have. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I feel like I completely forgot about this side of the house. Okay, let's see what we can do. Let me just do this at least. All right, we're going to do more windows. There we go. I want to be able to see the outside just because we're going to do a lot here. Honestly, though, maybe this can be a door instead. Mainly because I want to be able to get to this side, you know, because we're going to probably have more farms here. So this is going to be a door to some degree. Let's just make the design just a bit different here, and then we can do that for the door. Well, this will actually be a window. So, perfect. There we go. Yeah, so there's going to be a door here, which honestly we should just do it now, because why the heck not? We're already here. We have the material. And there we go. Place you here. All right, that's just so we can get there at any given time, right? So there we go. And for this, we're just going to completely fill you up with some cobblestone. And all right, the outside of the house, it's looking rough, but I feel like there's a, there's texture to it, right? It doesn't look too basic, I hope. Okay, this is kind of awkward, just because you see every time we have, like, oak, we need the pattern to kind of, work with the rest of the house. So I guess we can just squeeze in another window here. I feel like windows are just my excuse to make the house somewhat more open feeling, so here we go. All right, stairs. Okay, if we could just actually do this. There we go. All right, and then windows. All right, there we go. So this is the exterior of the house, and now let's work on this rooftop, and then the interior stuff. Okay, I've thought of this, like, for a while now. We need a bed, right? And instead of making our own bed, by the way, this is what that spot is starting to look like from here in the village. I am really liking the view so far. I don't know about you guys, but it feels like, things are definitely changing. We need to steal a bed from this place here, which hopefully this, iron golem wouldn't mind. I'm making the place a little more accessible, so I think it was one of these houses where it had the classic bed, right? So, oh, what's in here? Oh, a compass. Honestly, that's useful. That's so useful. If we ever want to go back to spawn, I guess, we do have the opportunity. But right now, where are you? Oh, it's this house. It has to be this house. Please, please, please. Hey. Give me that. Yes, the classic red bed. I'll replace that eventually, but for now, I kind of feel like this would, be nice to put at the house. Hey, I didn't steal this. Don't look at me like that. Come on. Dude, seriously, the boat ride here, it might be short, but it is kind of nice seeing stuff actually happen here. So there we go. And quickly go to sleep just so we don't have to deal with mobs while we're building the house. Ooh, something we could do too, since this looks like this. Ooh, yes! Yo, hold on! Oh, that looks good! Hold on, can we do something over here too? Because we have something similar going on. Oh, okay, didn't mean to do that. Yes! We're only gonna do it to that side, because I feel like that makes more sense. Now we have, like, one awkward stair that we accidentally placed down. But, oh, I like that a lot. Okay, all right, we're making moves. We're making moves. And just like that, the rooftop is kind of done. Like I said, it's going to be a 2-story house, so I do have some sort of idea what I want here. We can maybe work on that later, but for now, yeah, what do you guys think? Let me look at the exterior just a bit more. This will just, make sure we have access to this area, which I think we're going to have some animal farms going on soon. But having a house finally, done to some degree, or, like, just having a house is kind of nice. Now, what we have to do now is, completely get rid of the flooring and, put our own flooring. So, a lot of stuff needs to be done. But for now, let me just, kind of put some lights all over the place. That way, this place isn't completely dark. So, there we go. And we can make this look a little bit better later on. But, yeah, okay. I'm liking it so far. Let's get rid of the ground. I feel like eventually at some point I'm going to want a basement because, first of all, it's going to, link up to the, I guess, hobbit hole base. And second of all, I feel like a basement is just an easy place to put a chest room, which I don't think we'll be able to have today. But for now, there we go. The floor is gone, and now we can put whatever floor we want here. Alright, flooring is going to be easy for the most part, I think. Okay. So I want to incorporate some stone brick here, because the way some houses are, right, just in real life in general, the flooring in the kitchen area, which I think I'm going to want here, is just usually different from the rest of the house. I don't know if that's the same goes for you guys, let me know. But it's just how, you know, most houses I've seen have been. So it's going to be kind of weird that this portion here is more or less going to be the kitchen-ish area, and then the rest is simply going to be oak planks, just because it's a pretty easy resource. And yeah, so there we go. Kind of fill this all in. And there we go. Alrighty. Okay. So the reason we have this kind of like this is because I feel like houses, for the most part, have like, you know, it's not like houses are like this, right? Where it's just completely just open. You have walls at like specific points because they kind of act as the support pillars of houses. So I kind of want one right here. And it's kind of, you know, a good spot because the separation between, I guess, you know, the kitchen area from here is open. And you know what? Maybe we can do, just to add a little more, you know, just a little bit of design flair, right? Is over here, we can have these stone bricks kind of leading into here. So there we go. And then, yeah. That way we can have some natural points where we can put down some pillars like this to add on to, you know, for decorative purposes. And it just, you know, it just makes sense in my head to have them, okay? So we're not going to have like a full wall here, but we're going to have a wall that goes somewhat there. And then we have some of these staircases kind of as an entrance-ish towards the kitchen, if that makes sense. It'll also give us an excuse to have some lighting here. And yeah, okay. Same with this for the most part. What we can do here too. Something sort of like this. Like this. And then... Alright. And I kind of want to keep this open. Or, you know, we could close it up, actually. Let's see. Yeah, Okay, I think I'm going to keep that, actually. We're going to do something with this in a second. Alright, so this is going to be the kitchen area where we're going to be smelting everything. You know, have all our furnaces and a little bit of, I was thinking of doing some barrels. I don't necessarily remember how to craft a barrel, so let's see if this thing will help us. Okay. Let's do, like, 3. Alright, we'll do 3 barrels. Kind of close you up here. Like, add a little bit of light here, just because we do have the opportunity. And then... I gotta figure out how to seal this off later, because the top is obviously not done. For now, though, we're just gonna put the red bed in the middle here. That way we can, you know, kind of set this as a spawn point and continue working in the house. Alright, but now we will need the furnaces and all the stuff, you know, kind of available. Okay. Barrels, I'm going to kind of take advantage of this area here. Being a natural gap, it'll just be some easy, you know, storage for us to put some foodstuffs or whatever in. The furnaces are going to be kind of in a weird location. I kind of want some to be just here. I want this area to have a... Okay, let me show you guys. I just need to figure out what we're going to put here. Honestly, it shouldn't be that bad. I feel like we should have crafting tables everywhere for the most part. So we can do that here. And then we can have like a double chest area here. You know, I'm going to use acacia for this just because I don't think I'm going to use this for the aesthetic of the build. That way we can have a thing of water here. And let me just make sure I get some extra water. So it'll act as, I guess, the sink, if that makes sense. To make this a little bit better, let's see. Can we make a lever? Yes, we can. There we go. There we go. We just kind of have a sink going downwards. And then over here, we can kind of keep working on different types of, I guess, you know, furnaces. So we should have some smokers, which, honestly, now that I'm looking at it, I don't know if I want this. Yeah, I feel like that's too expensive, but also, you know what? Let's just make a few. Let's make a few. First of all, let's make a lot of furnaces. All right. Like, literally a lot. We have so much cobblestone that we don't even know what to do with it. And how do you make a blast furnace? Really? We can't? Wait. Okay, so let's just do furnace. Okay, can we not make a blast furnace? Alright, whatever. Let's make a few smokers. This makes some sense to me. Mainly because, you know, this cooks food faster, right? So it would make sense to have a few blasts, or, you know, smokers, right? So we cook food a bit faster, and we'll just have you kind of completely take over. Okay, we'll do it from here. Completely take over underneath the stairs, right? Alright. And then we have like such a weird number. Blast furnace. You know what? Let me look this up. Yeah, I'm not gonna make any blast furnaces. I'm not gonna lie. I just don't want to spend that much here. Okay, so there we go. We can do a little bit of something, you know, design-wise, right? We can do something on the walls to make it look like at least something is going on. So what can we do with this? Okay, I don't know if I like... Actually, no, that works. Kind of like having some, you know, shelves, I guess, if that makes sense. So there we go. And now this spot looks a little awkward. I can't even lie. What we can do is... Would this look good? I don't think so. This is just gonna be such a weird, like, space here. I don't know. Okay, because over here, right? I don't know what can make this look... Oh! Wait. What if we did this? We literally put, like, a glass window style here. And then we can, Dude, I actually don't know what to do here. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Would it make sense if we put it here? I don't think that looks good whatsoever. But it looks artsy, so I guess we'll just keep that for now. It's not really in the way. And okay, that's the kitchen. Now for the living room, honestly not sure what to put here, but hey. Okay, this is gonna be the bedroom up here. Let's put you like here for now, kind of reset spawn point. There we go. Okay, so I honestly don't have a lot of material to work on the bedroom. All you guys need to know is, or not the bedroom, this area here. All you guys need to know is, you know, a crafting table here and some chests just existing in the area would, I guess, be kind of nice. So there we go. There we go. Some easy, you know, access stuff. When we have more stuff, we can actually work on like a couch or whatever. But okay. So this is what I had in mind for the upstairs. This is gonna be a little bit weird. But what I actually want is kind of, you know, a good amount of this to be open. And I want, like, maybe up to here to actually be the house. So, yeah, I don't know if this makes sense, but it will when we get to this point. So let's just kind of close this up. We need more cobblestone. All right, we got a good amount on us. Okay. Hopefully this will make sense as we move forward. Okay, so we can at least, I guess, cover the spots that we need. So kind of go here. We'll work on like doorways a little bit later. We're going to match the windows that are downstairs just because I feel like it just makes complete sense to. So let's put a crafting table here that we can work with. And then we're going to need a few more stairs, just like so. All right, so you're going to be here. Actually, this might actually work the way I want it to. Okay, I have an idea. It's going to be a little unorthodox when we get to it, but hey. Yeah, and let's skip the night. What? Is this not nighttime? I still don't understand this. Okay, whatever. There we go. There we go. This is just a wall, so that's fine. There we go. We're going to match the windows that are downstairs, just because I feel like that just makes sense to do. So there we go. And then let's kind of, I guess, you know, actually work on the base a bit. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if this idea I have in my head is going to work too well, but I feel like, you know, we can experiment, right? We can see what we got. So first the windows, just because these are going to be the most difficult if we don't just get it out of the way now. So do this. Oops, we almost fell. We should probably do something about that. And then do that. Do this. The middle is going to be kind of strange, but hopefully we can kind of get it to work. So you guys will see when we get to that point. We definitely put one higher than we should, but we can worry about that when we get to that part. Okay, here as well. Kind of get the main windows out of the way because these parts will just be the annoying parts if we don't do it now. So bam, bam. Alrighty, and all right. There we go. I think I'm gonna want the door to be here, so I'm just gonna leave this open. And then, okay, you guys will see in a bit how we're going to do this. This front area though, I kind of wanted this to be a little bit different-ish. I kind of want it to match the bottom. So we're gonna need this here. All right. And then obviously, you know, we gotta do this. Kind of all the way here. All right, kind of close it up. And then kind of do the same thing here. Because on the inside, we're actually gonna kind of, you know, bring this in quite a bit. Let's see, we're gonna do this. Wait. I actually don't know if I'm doing this right. Okay, I think we need to, like, do it one back, kind of, you know, match where this is. All right. And then this is just going to look weird for the inside, but what I was kind of imagining was, by the way, is it nighttime? Oh, yes. Okay. Dude, get rid of this rain. I feel like this rain is kind of, like, bothering how this looks, too. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So now what I need is, do we have any more oak wood? I feel like we're actually about to run out. Please tell me I didn't use up all the oak and there's still some left. Of course. Dude, we're actually out of oak. Are you serious? Okay. Maybe this plan I have in my head is not going to work out well. Let me see how the house is looking from down here. Okay, either way, we need more oak wood. So let's first of all make another axe. I'm hearing whispering. What the heck was that? Okay, first of all, axe. So let's actually just do iron. Why the heck not? No reason to use copper. Why are you barking? I don't care. Luckily for us, we literally have like a million pieces of oak just kind of around the house, which is the reason why I planted this, because when I need it, I'm gonna need it, right? So might as well have it nearby. And I knew that axe was gonna break, which is why we made a new one, so there we go. Dude, also, do we have cobblestone? Yes, okay, we're still gonna cobble, because we're gonna use a lot of that a little bit later. But okay, let's just get this done. Okay, so hopefully I kind of explained it somewhat properly earlier. Hold on, we need to make the doorway here look somewhat better. So maybe for the doorway, what we can do is, just to make it, you know, stand out a bit, right? We'll have that there. We're gonna have doors over here. And then I do want windows facing out, but the windows don't necessarily have to be too massive, and I want them to be centered. So what we're gonna do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, this here. Oh, actually, no, we have to do it here, right? Starting from here. All right, 1, 2. And then, okay, I'm hoping this is gonna somewhat look good in my head. There we go. I want this to just be a full-on window going all the way to, you know, the highest point here, which is gonna be right here. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think we're also gonna need this part open. And this part, okay. All right, like I said, we're just kind of building this by ear. So right now, we're just gonna hope it's gonna look fine. So here we go. I'm gonna hope this is more than enough glass. There we go. All right, because we're gonna be able to see there, because we are gonna be doing something out there. But yeah, let's fill this up back here. Okay, honestly, now that I'm thinking about this, at first I was gonna do some crazy window thing. But now I kind of want a balcony. So we're gonna do this as, like, you know, our mini balcony area. We just gotta make sure this part is lit up later. And then we probably should do like a border. We'll put fences here later when we actually bother to make fences. Right now, I feel like we should use the resources we have to work on literally everything else. But from here, I also want this to kind of go downwards, you know, act as the support pillars. So, yeah, okay. The house is looking like a house. There we go. And then this spot here, I want it to simply be doors, which we are gonna put down. We are gonna have to make some anyways, so might as well do it now. So there we go. All right, the first set of doors will be right here. All right, I don't know how I feel about this look, but it'll work for now. If we want to change it later, we can. And then over here as well, because this will be like the outside area, if that makes any sense. Okay. Let me spread some lights around so we can actually see what the heck is happening. All right, now the rooftop was something I was worrying about, but I think this is actually going to be much easier than I thought it would be. First of all, I just remembered we practically have no actual corners going on, so we can kind of get rid of these. All right, second, the roof is going to be very easy for the most part. We're just going to use cobblestone for the roof and slabs, which you guys will see in a bit. All right, we got this layer done, and I just realized if we don't want mobs spawning on top of the house, instead of putting some, you know, lights on top, we could just use slabs, but I think light peeks through, right? Okay, I just came up with an idea. I think what we can do is for the inside, we'll use oak planks, and for the on top, we'll use slabs to kind of finish it off. But most importantly, I want the corners or like the sides here to have slabs. So let's see what this looks like. I'm thinking this looks good in my head, but I could just be completely wrong. So hopefully this looks fine. I'm really worried that we actually don't have enough oak planks for the top of this place. So hope for the best, I guess. Bro, we're really squeezing all our resources just to get this house done. I'm not gonna lie. Let's sleep. All right. I just don't want to deal with any mobs at all. I feel like we like did so much work that if any mobs show up, and you know, like a creeper shows up and blows this place up, I'd be so depressed. So let's just quickly get as much of this done as possible. And I knew we were gonna be out of oak planks. Okay, let's just get more. No big deal. And I didn't pick up any of the saplings, and they probably despawned, which is okay. You know, we can always find more, or you know, get more in general. Yeah, these things will fall, so no big deal. Alright, I'm thinking the logs we got are more than enough, so there we go. And now we just have to get back up here to close this up. And then just this spot left, and presto. Alrighty, now we only have really one thing left to do, which is this area here. And is the lighting fine in here? I mean, we'll work on this a little bit later. Right now, I want this bed to be completely against the wall. So the bed will be here. We're gonna make this look good a little later. I want to spread more lighting around. So what we can do is kind of make like a support pillar here, right? It'll also give us an excuse to put a torch right there. And we can figure out other places to put pillars, but right now I think that looks completely fine. Alright, this is the last part of the house that we need to do. As you guys can see, I want this to be like an open terrace sort of thing going on. So I feel like it's actually a lot simpler than I am imagining right now. So over here, what I want is, we can put stone bricks here to kind of do that. Alrighty. There we go. There we go. I know we haven't incorporated stone bricks yet, so that will kind of, you know, add something, I hope. And now, this part's simple. I just want fences, which hopefully we can make enough of. Okay, I'm going to hope that this is an adequate amount. So there we go. Nope. All right. I was wrong. I hate that I'm using this because I literally won't remember. Okay, go back to oak. Go back to oak. All right, there we go. All right, this should complete it nicely, and then we need to put some torches back here. I do want to put slabs right on top of this. And there we go. Oh my goodness. Did we actually finish the house? Oh, no, we didn't. Wait, there's one more thing. All right. Right. Almost forgot the balcony, which should probably match the, I guess, you know, outdoor area. There we go. That's how you make a house, everybody. Not the best builder in the world, so I do apologize, but let me know what you guys think. At least now we have, like, an actual place to live in. I do want to add a basement that connects to our hobbit hole area later on. But for now, I think this is going to work out. I'm really hoping the light levels are just fine in here and can decorate a little bit more. But let's go outside, see the exterior, and yeah, there's the house. You know what? Let's see what it looks like a little further away. I feel like that's how we can get a grand view of it, right? So get on our boat, and let's say we're going a little away, and oh yeah, okay. Yep. What do you guys think so far? I don't know. It's just a thought I had in my head how, you know, I feel like I wanted like a somewhat big starter home. We can definitely make this look better moving forward, but for now I feel like, you know, this will do the job for sure. We had a lot of cobblestone. Why was I worried? Okay, all right. Just gonna shove some random stuff in here. I'm gonna hope I do remember this exists. Yeah. Either way, if you guys did enjoy the video, drop down a like, subscribe. I'm going to hope the light level here is just fine. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and peace. Bye, guys.